Here, we keep on recording. I made sure I had a lot of room. See these faces of evil? Faces of evil. Right here. Faces of evil. Faces of evil. Faces of evil. Truly, white satanic fucking cult members. Again, faces of evil. All working together as one big evil fucking cult. Fucking pieces of fucking shit I live around. As you can see, and I'll post multiple videos. This is all going on YouTube. And here's the car in front of me, the freaking tailgater with his headlights off. Look, no brake lights, no tail lights running. Everything's acceptable in Chicago. It's all about breaking the law and terrorizing. And so, as you see, the flashers are still on. Yes, low tire pressure, 35. I got 20. I'm going to fill it up. There, right there. There's the faces of evil. See, they want to break the law. Oh, they want to show that. But see, the thing is, they're terrorizing me. My video is about self-defense. Their video is illegal. They're not taking a video of self-defense. They're violating the law. See, it's a big difference why you take an image. This image is in self-defense. This is self-protection. They're not. They're the predator. They have no right to take the image. The predator does it. Look at them violate the law. The predator. They have no right to take an image. They have no right to use their phone. They have no right to take an image of me. They're the predator. They don't have a warrant to surveil me. I have a warrant to take pictures of those that are violating me. Violating me. Me not violating them violating me. Here's a car that was pulled over. Right there. Now my flashers are on. Here's a car that was waiting. I'm going slow. You think they'd be catching up? They got places to go, right? They're going somewhere, right? Or are they out there just to make my life miserable? So, what is their modus operandum? Truly. So, all these people, you can't take a picture unless it's out of self-defense in that way. They walk into my camera. I don't go find them, they find my camera. So make no mistake about that. They cross against red lights. They do all the evil. See, I'm going slower and I got my flashers on. See the speed limit? They're going slower, no flashers. Why is that? Truly. Why are they going slower? I'm going slower because I've been attacked by numerous tailgaters. And I'm doing this out of self-defense. For all the evil around me, there's the evil old lady, soon to perish and burn in hell. Again, I live in a satanic, demonic place. You know what the Chicago Cubs, several of them said? Why they were leaving Illinois? Because people here are garbage. They're pieces of garbage. And they're not going to raise their children around garbage. And that's what they said to me. They moved out of the state. Once they were done with the Cubs, they left. Because people here are garbage. Not because they're good people, because they're pieces of garbage. Illinois lost millions of people, not because they're good people, because they're people of garbage. People of garbage. So again, not because they're good people, we've lost millions and millions of people. We chose the gay parade, we chose all these things, and people bailed. Do you know how many clients I work with at Mutual of Omaha and MetLife and others that all left the state? Unbelievable. Unprecedented amount of people, constantly helping them relocate. Going to Indiana, going somewhere else. Don't want to be here. Pieces of garbage live here. Jaywalking, throwing trash, desecrating everywhere. Pieces of garbage. Now remember, my flashers are on. I'm at a red light. Here comes the traffic. What would you do if you saw a car in front of you had flashers on? Well, I would get into the other lane. It's hazards. Yield. Go around. But that's not happening, is it? Nope. And here's the flashers. And they're right in my rear view. Again, satanic, evil. And it goes on every day in every way. Truly. So all these people tried to justify, I'm only doing this out of self-defense. They are the predators. I am the victim. So I have a right to do this. They are the filth, the disgrace, the disgust. You name it. They're incredibly evil. They're the disgusting, filthy pieces of garbage. And all of these actions are done out of self-defense. Trying to protect myself from the garbage. Truly. So, I come down here and what do I get? Terrorized. But in my first breakdown, I never got tailgated. Not a once. Not one time did I ever get tailgated in that 10-year period. In the first breakdown. Not one tailgating. Truly. I didn't get hit by another car either. Well, I'll take that back. I got rear-ended several times in the parking lot at a light. So yes, I got hit. But no tailgating. Look at her. Thank you for pulling out when I'm coming. See, the faces of evil. Not waiting till the car is clear and opening the door, but opening the door right when I'm beside the door. Just before I get there, opening and stepping out in front of me. godly children. And they are. As I grew up, I kept my mouth shut. Now kids, they open their mouth all over the place. And so we have this. Remember, the flashers are on. And remember, you can pass. See, that's not a solid line. So at any time there's availability to pass, they can pass. Remember, this line means you can pass. It's not a no passing zone. That's why they have the double yellow and the solid lines when you're going up a hill, because you can't see. But this person is willingly staying behind me when there are more than enough gaps for them to pass. So again, who's provoking who? Who is doing? I drove in Texas all over. They pass on the shoulder. I pass cars all the time. But these evil, no, they don't. And then they do the false nomer. I gotta turn here. Truly. They do the evil. So, I go around. I'm down here early. Nah, why would I go to pizza? They don't treat me with respect and dignity in here at Bocce's. Truly, they don't treat me with respect and dignity. So, again, all these people mistreating me. The faces of evil. Here, let me turn off the flashers since no cars are behind me. Don't want to wear out the flasher lights. Preserve them for the next cars getting behind me. They've been bullying me for almost a decade now with extreme tailgating and then slamming into me with their vehicles. Do you know how many times they've almost near missed me on the highway and everything else? All intentionally, coming within inches of my car. Megan's Law, you're supposed to get over. So I pull over on the highway on the shoulder, and the cars speed up. Not only don't slow down, they speed up, and they just miss hitting my mirror. They just miss hitting my mirror. Here, flashers back on, car behind me. What will they do? Truly. As you can see, my tire has low pressure. I don't want to blow out a tire or mishandle my car, right? So, the faces of evil. Like I go in here. Not good time. Grace the hell O'Malley. So it's interesting how I grew up. I used to walk up here as a child all the time and go to Sears and go to, what was the retailer over here? Keeler something. I forget the name. But used to come up here and walk as a child. No money for a bus. I walked to Horner Park. I walked to the Boys and Girls Club. My parents didn't give me money for bus fare. My sister and brother didn't give me money for bus fare. My sister and brother didn't drive me to the games or back, even when they had a car. They never drove me, whether it was winter or whatever. I walked. Everything was on my own. I didn't get any assistance from my older siblings. My sister did buy me a bike, and I rode a 10-speed for a little bit. Best birthday present ever. They stole it. Oh yeah, I parked it on the side of my house. This is in January. There wasn't any snow. I went to the park, rode the bike all day, had fun. And it was still daylight out, and I put the new 10-speed on the side of my house. My house is recessed off the street. off the street, off the sidewalk. It's recessed. My house isn't right next to the sidewalk. My house is a distance from the sidewalk. And they came up and they stole my 10-speed. Stole it. Just like they did in Arizona. The reason I got a scooter is because they stole my mountain bikes. I didn't have money to buy a new mountain bike, and I bought the kryptonite lock and everything else. They used Freon, froze it, hit it with a hammer, broke the lock, stole the bike. 2 of them. That's one of the things that it was nice when they outlawed Freon, because it gets so cold. Now they can use liquid nitrogen. But the whole point is, they did this to steal bikes all over. Use liquid Freon. Spray the lock, hit it with a hammer. The kryptonite locks crumbled. They stole it, so I bought a scooter. So I'm figuring they couldn't steal the scooter, and they didn't. And it worked to the second semester. 88, the summer and fall, they stole 2 bikes. They also stole my sunglasses. I'm a poor boy. I'm working numerous jobs. Working my ass off for the stuff I have. Nothing given. So no, the Pell Grant or any of that, nope, that was all work money. And they stole them. I stopped buying sunglasses. I can't afford to have people stealing my sunglasses. So I bought the scooter. What happened? Second semester, a quarter way through, the girl, T-boned me and hit me on the scooter, almost killed me. And then she never paid for the damage, never replaced the scooter or anything. Cried and whined and said, Michael, forgive me, my dad, if he knows that I got into an accident. And she's giving me the sob story. And I even talked the Tucson police out of giving her a ticket for hitting me, because it was all on my grace. And I let them go. Just like before, the 2 black kids in the car hit me on my scooter, knocked me out into the middle of the intersection. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry, Michael. They almost pushed me out right in front of a semi. But do you want me to go on and on? Just like the Arab guy who hit me at a stoplight in my Volkswagen. And he came up and begged me as a Christian, forgive me. But all these people asked me under Christian grace to forgive them. Like the black guy that hit my Honda Accord. He did the same thing. Didn't take insurance from him, let him off. So black guy, Arab guy, Hispanics. Truly, I didn't lock up the Hispanics that beat me. I had them. I could have called the cops in Arizona. I had my friends. I had them all surrounded. They could have went to jail. They got away with assault and battery. It's just on and on. Do you want to ask me how many times they've assaulted me and got to walk away with it? It just goes on and on. That they constantly do assaults to me and then beg me for my grace. And they have. Constantly doing evil to me and then asking me to forgive them every day. They ask for new forgiveness, new grace. Every day I have to forgive them. Why should I forgive them? You're going to prosecute me because I run somebody over? You're going to put me in jail because I blow somebody's brains out? You're going to put me because I throw that girl under my car? Truly. So you can do all this evil to me, and everywhere I go, I have to give you grace and comply. And you can violate me every single day in every way, and I have to give you grace. You have to be forgiven. Why is that? As God told me, there's no more forgiveness when it comes to me. Anyone who does anything wrong to me burns in hell, and no matter what works they do, no matter what they do, they can be missionaries, they can do anything they want, they burn in hell. Once they decided to terrorize me like the ones today, they burn in hell. He doesn't care. The cops burn in hell for derelict of duty. They're incompetent pieces of shit. The reason the city became the murder capital, because these people can't do their shit. The reason all these crimes happen to me is because they don't do their shit. The reason drugs were in the city of Chicago, because the Chicago cops don't do their job. Their job is to make sure there's no illegal drugs or anything. They didn't stop the proliferation of illegal drugs. They didn't stop the overdoses. They didn't stop anything. Zero. But you pay them more and more fortunes every day. And they stop no crime. They stop no evil. They just clean up the mess. They just clean up the mess. That's all they do. They're housekeepers. They come in afterwards and they clean up the crime scene and remove the body and document somebody was murdered. And that's it. The clearance rate for Chicago, probably one of the lowest in all of the United States. And we're talking prior to 2016. Talk about complete incompetence. And so they get away with it constantly. The faces of death. Look at this. Look at this. All the illegal maneuvers in Chicago. They do whatever they want. In Tokyo, Japan, 3 months for jaywalking. You go to jail for 3 months. And then they have a severe discipline in jail. Unbelievably rigorous. They're Nazis in jail. Incredible discipline they demand of the prisoners. Breaking them. If you step out of line in any way, you get whacked. So it's absolute compliance. They don't want people to go back in and jaywalk again. So when they put them in, they demand you do everything perfect. You do everything. Corners on your bed, everything. It must be all done perfect. Your room must be kept perfect. Everything clean, perfect. It's to break them of wanting to do crime again. So they demand perfection. Here, look at around you the filth and disgrace and disgust. Truly, go out any day. Look at these filthy. I didn't hang out with filthy people. They were clean and well dressed and well groomed. The metrosexual. They got manicures and pedicures. Ask Dominic. Ask Gino Marchetti. Ask them. They're all incredibly well groomed and well kept. I didn't hang out with pigs. This city is full of pigs. Not the city I remember, but this is a city of demonistic pigs. Garbage. Ghetto trash. Filth. Disgust. Disgrace. Truly, look around. What do you see? Garbage. Filth. Disgrace. Disgust. Ghetto trash. Truly, look at the buildings. Look at the ghetto they are. Look at them. Look at how they carry themselves. They're ghetto. They're garbage. They're filth. They're disgust. They're disgrace. So I don't get it. Now the flashers are on. There's 2 lanes. Look at the car behind me. See the second lane? See the flashers? They stay behind me. The ghetto, filth, disgrace, disgust. So I get to see it all, as I can't go into all these places because I'm banned. Only the filth and disgrace and disgust can live a good life. Truly, I live below the poverty level. I live in a 1-bedroom with 2 adult males. I used to live in a 1-bedroom with 3 adults. My mother, she had the bedroom. Me and my brother slept on the floor originally. And then because my brother blew out my knee when I was working for him, didn't do anything about it. But anyways, I had to get a little bit higher box spring. But remember, the boards broke because I was 340 pounds. So the boards broke. They weren't replaced. I slept on a mattress that was wavy because the boards weren't replaced. I had no money to put in new boards. The drawers, they basically collapsed because the IKEA didn't say what weight it could handle. Oh yeah, they saw the bed, but they didn't say, well, the bed's not designed for somebody of 340 pounds, which it wasn't. But it said it was available for adults and that, and it collapsed under the weight. And then the drawers fell off, and my mom glued them on. But I slept on that for years. A wavy mattress, broken boards underneath. Before that, I slept on just a floor mat. That's it. Just a floor mat. Nothing. And my brother sat next to me, and he had gas and congestion. So, not me. So I would be in a room and he would, like I just saw the bad guys. He would have constantly gas, locked in. That was my room. Ask John Zeef. I complained to him about it. So what did I do? I got air purifiers. Yep. Got to clean the air. But I'm not going to go into all the other stuff, but I got to clean the air. So I got multiple air purifiers. And I purified the air. Truly. And when I got a new bed, guess what? I bought a new bed for my mom and a new bed for my brother. I bought them all new beds too. When I got a new mattress, they all got a new mattress. Ask Costa. I didn't put restraints on him. He ate above me most of the time, not below me, and I was paying the bill. He ate better than me. He did. Ask him. And I calculate the tens of thousands of dollars that I spent on him every year. As a friend, he's in need. Look at me. He lived in an individual apartment, multiple bedrooms. He decided not to rent out the second bedroom. Not my fault that he didn't take on a roommate. I even talked to him about being roommates with him. And he told me no. But you're complaining that you need to cut your rent. You have a 2-bedroom. And you don't rent out the second bedroom. And then you're complaining that your rent's too high. And then you're always, short. And I have to pay for everything. And I'm living 3 people in a single bedroom. See, you don't know the pain and suffering I've been through. And the disgrace and humiliation. And then you allow all these people to do crimes and get away with them. And you think I'm kidding about breaking them and punishing them and going back in their history and prosecuting them for the crimes they did over the past. I don't want them to get away with anything. I went into the police station and confessed to my sins of transporting marijuana. And I let them make a decision. I was ready and willing to go to jail. So they decided that I didn't need to. I didn't decide. They decided. Whatever they decided, as God watched, I went with. And then again, what else did I do? Oh, there's something else. Oh, yeah, that's right. With the DUI, my lawyer told me to leave Arizona. And I had one, and I went back, and I took care of everything. And if I had to go to jail, I would have. Arizona sent me a letter. I would show it to you, that I have no DUIs on their system. This all happened before 2016. There was nothing on their system. I was cleared of everything. Now they said, oh, they sent me one after 2016 that I had one ticket for something. I paid it through an online process. But I went through and I demanded these things, just like I went to TCF Bank for an overdraft. And I told them I had it, and I kept on going. And this was a black banker. I told them, check the archives in Minnesota. I almost swear my notes say I owe you for an overdraft. And I kept on going back and asking him to check the records and dig down. This is before I was going to get married to Jen. Don't want anything to haunt me, right? Even an overdraft. But he got a note from them, and they said in their system they have no history of me owing them any money. I said, fine, and I stopped. But he gave me a formal letter saying that their archive search and history, just like the state of Arizona, their archive search and history shows that I have no criminal offenses. So I went through everything. I went through any issue. I purged myself. You don't think I'm clean? I am clean as can be. I am the dove. And this is why in 2016, God said anyone who does a crime against me will be sentenced to eternal damnation. There is nothing. There is no secrets. There is no unturned anything. So, anything and everything, I purged. And those things weren't wrong. I turned over all kinds of evidence about how they smuggle and everything else. So, I have no crimes, but only good works. So, again, anyone who does anything against me is supposed to be punished, and I mean punished severely, without question, without hesitation. They're scum, they're filth, they're corrupt, they're liars, they're cheats, they're unbelievably unethical. So make no mistake about it. And so you keep on doing this to me, and this is going on YouTube for the nation and world to see, and I would love to put this in front of the United Nations. I want somebody to take this up and play this video for the United Nations. My testimony to the UN of what Chicago's doing to me. I want every country in the world to know the faces of these evil people. The persecution they've done to me and continuously do to me. Their great shame. So I want this in front of the United Nations. I'll put a link. And I want them to see, and this to go before the UN Security Council. And I want them to take measures against the people here in Chicago. And I want it globally. I want anyone who has a Chicago or Illinois ID to be on the predatory list. They make me suffer. They have to suffer. They're garbage. They're filth. They're disgrace. So, as I suffer, they suffer. I don't want you giving them business. I want them to starve. I want sanctions. If they come into your country and violate anything, I want you to execute them. I want you to execute them. You have my blessing to end their lives. As they've destroyed mine, I want theirs destroyed. It's only fair.